Welcome back to Hot Rod Guy Garage, and this is another episode of how to make your geometry faster, but this is a behind the scenes video. Uh, some parts have come in for Project Free Throw. I'm going to flip the camera around and I'll show you what I got. Well, we don't have a whole lot of stuff that's come in. A coupler there and some gaskets and, our little T28 came in. As you can see, it's a pretty little guy. You know what I mean? So I've done basically went out there to the car and figured out where I'm going to put this. Well, we got another problem, and that's what we're going to work on today. Got our manifold here, which I've already cut back off. If you remember, this manifold is very well ported. Just kind of show y'all here. This is a stock G10 port on this flange right here. See the difference? So I was going to use this to build my turbo header, and I will use this to build my turbo header for our other motor. But we need to stick the turbo right here. So I bought this cheap cast iron flange, and what I plan to do is I'm going to make this fit here. So you may wonder how I'm going to do that. That's what I'm going to show you today. So a lot of people are scared to weld cast iron. This is cast iron. This is not a cast steel composite. And so is this. This is just old cheap cast iron. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut me a little square hole right here. And we'll go from there. And alright guys, I got the blade of death set up here. Now let's cut our hole. Now you're probably thinking, wow. But yeah, that's how I'm doing it. Let me tell you, I've welded some cast iron stuff, and I've welded a bunch of stuff that don't supposed to stick together. I'm going to finish cleaning that up, and then I'll pop back in here in just a few minutes and kind of show you how I trimmed it. You know what I mean? But basically, that's the basics to it. And alright, I got this kind of rough trimmed. I'm going to show you, and you probably don't understand so far why I got the pieces that I did, and I'll show you. So on the adapter flange, I cut the T3 side off. See, this is a T3 to T25 adapter. So I cut the flange off, and then I trimmed the adapter down until we had a shape something like this. Well, if you look at our manifold, we also got a shape similar to this. So basically, what I'm going to do, I'm going to trim the manifold until this adapter fits down to the back wall back here. And I'm just going to fit this thing, guys, and before you know it, we'll have a turbo manifold. So basically, guys, lots of trimming here. You want the tightest fit you can possibly get between this piece and this piece. So it's going to take a little while. And, stuff like this is what you deal with when there's not really a whole lot of aftermarket support or parts available. It's also stuff you do when you're on a budget. You want something, you end up making it. So that's exactly what I'm doing out here. So I'm going to let that flange cool off a little bit because it's a little too hot for me to touch right now. And then I'll be back here in just a few. And alright guys, I'm back inside. It is blazing hot outside as usual. So basically, this is what I ended up being at. And I went in here and I wire brushed this manifold till it was shiny and clean all the way around. Same with my flange. But basically, this is what you're going to end up with. And yes, we do have a big gap right here, but I'll show you what I want to do to fix that here in a minute. But basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to square my flange up with the top of my flange up here, which it will fit square with a reasonably tight gap around all the important areas, like this big open spot down here at the bottom. So basically, guys, when you weld cast iron or even cast steel, you want to preheat this. And how I'm going to preheat this, if you don't have an oxyacetylene torch available, you can take something as simple as propane torch like this, and you know, you're just going to put it on there and let it cook, or knock your flames in the floor. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's turn that off for a second. But I'm going to let this thing preheat for about 10 minutes or until it starts glowing orange. Same with the flange, I'm going to preheat it also. I'm going to put this stuff back together, and as it cools down, I'm going to weld it with my little MIG welder. I'll be back here in a minute. And it's about this point where I'm expecting a bunch of comments saying that's not the way you weld cast iron. I've done it like that for years, guys. Never had one crack, never had a manifold crack, did it that way. Welded flanges on stuff, don't go on stuff. So if I'm doing it wrong, I've been doing it wrong for a long time with a lot of success. So ignore my neighbor's grass cutters over there. We got our flange on there, and yes, it's not beautiful. And anytime you weld cast iron or cast steel, it's never going to be beautiful. It's not the point of it. You want it strong. So you don't want to force cool this stuff. Ideally, you want to pack it in some sand and let it cool for multiple hours. I'm just going to let mine sit out here and naturally cool off. So it's super important that you let it naturally cool off and you don't spray any water or oil or anything to force it to cool itself down. Because with cast iron, it will crack. Usually, if you get through the welding process, and if you didn't notice in the video, I did not stop, except for momentarily, and I worked quickly. That was just clean little dirt that comes out of the cast iron off the material. So, big thing is, let it cool naturally, let it cool slowly as you can. And that's really the key. So, I'll be back here in just a little while, guys. And, customarily, you get a little hammer out. We're going to beat on it a little bit, just it's going to fall off, right? So, it's been quite a while. I've been out here with my wire brush, and I cleaned this thing up a little bit. Yep, that ain't going nowhere. Alright, guys. We're back. And, as you can see, I painted a manifold. And, like I said before, it's not necessarily beautiful, but that's not the point. The point is that we took something old, we took something new, we put them together, and we made something that we didn't have. So, I'm going to take this to the shop with me tomorrow, and I'll take it and put it on the belt sander, flatten this flange, and make sure our head flange is still flat. But at this point, I can start mocking up everything else. And we are going to have to do a little porting in here, just to match the turbo. Not a whole lot of grinding is going to have to happen, but just a little bit. So basically what we done, by cutting it down here and doing this way, is we basically redirected the manifold inside. Basically build a factory style turbo manifold that will work just as well as a factory turbo manifold. If doing stuff like this scares you, I suggest you don't do it. I've done this way for a long time, and if you're worried about the way it looks, you can always wrap it with some header wrap, and I probably will do that also. Not to hide this, but header wrap helps keep heat inside a manifold or a header, and that does help a ton, especially when you're trying to spool a turbo. Heat management becomes super important. So that's where we're at right now, guys. So hopefully showing you some of this behind the scenes stuff will kind of help inspire some of you that might be scared to do this stuff. Let me just tell you this, if it does break, you just re-weld it. And you could totally do that with a flux core welder. I actually prefer to weld cast iron with a flux core welder, but I'm using what I got here at the house. Since Project Free Tro's at the house and not at the shop, that's what we're doing. Since I don't have a choice. So I'm going to continue mocking this stuff up, and I'll be back here in just a few minutes. And alright, now that everything's kind of cooled down, what I've done, I just took a couple of bolts here and stuck in this turbo, mock it up where I could clock the housing. Clock the housing, you just, you either got bolts or a V-band clamp on both sides of this. You just loosen that up, and then you should be able to rotate things how you need them to be. I'm going to take this, I'm going to go out here to the car and see if I can't mock this up, and we'll kind of see what kind of idea of what kind of room we have. And alright guys, I got the manifold mocked up. I put a couple of bolts up here in it. I stuck my 2 to 3 inch adapter coupler on here. Basically at this point I can plan for downpipe, I can plan for air intake, I can plan for cold side plumbing. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put the intake back on the car and get the sniper and everything reinstalled. Then I'm going to check my charge piping. That's assuming that the weather lets us. So I'm going to get back busy, and I'm just going to mock everything up because I still got to put a feed and drain line on it. I'm going to do that stuff with the manifold off, but I want to make sure everything's going to fit properly. And alright guys, it's a little while later. I've got the intake back on, sniper bolted back on, and all that good stuff. Just to roughly mock things up, everything's going to have to come back apart, so let me flip this around. So, got the sniper and the intake and stuff, like I said, back on. Reclocked the hat, and our blow-off valve's pretty close to the cam pulley, but it does clear. It's not going to cause no issues. Cut this pipe down right here, reclocked this coupler, and our 3 to 2 inch adapter for a turbo. Looks like that will work for a good temporary setup. So at this point, I'm going to move and see if I can't mock the air filter stuff up. If I'm going to run one. I've not made my mind up yet. And I'm still waiting on downpipe flange and oil flanges and stuff. So that's why I've not mocked none of that stuff up yet. It's always important to mock stuff up. That way you can plan out where you're going to fit stuff. So that's what I'm going to get back to doing. And we'll see where we end up here in a few minutes. And okay guys, I think I figured out what I'm doing with the air filter. It'll fit right down that little hole with that little coupler right there. So at this point I'm going to pull the turbo and stuff back off because everything's mocked up now. So other than some oil lines and some fittings that I'm missing, I pretty much have everything put the turbo on the car. Hopefully that stuff will come early this coming week, and we'll just have to see what happens. And alright guys, I'm about wrapped up with the mock-up of the turbo stuff. The other stuff should be here hopefully tomorrow to Tuesday, and we can get this turbo install wrapped up. Basically guys, I showed you a little behind the scenes stuff, what kind of goes into this stuff. Sometimes you have to take stuff apart 2 or 3 times or make stuff work. So it just kind of is what it is. And if you like this kind of content, make sure you like this video and share it with your friends, and most importantly subscribe, because it helps small channels like mine grow. But until then guys, we'll see you at the next one.